Interesting family history, I would say, for the all-American girl next door.
As her cousin, who is fully Jewish, half of her family is Jewish, while she herself is a Christian. And we take that with a grain of salt. She has celebrated many Jewish holidays with our side of the family and highly respects the Jewish religion. Because, it's 33 stars, it says right here.
Allan Rothstein, nicknamed The Brain, was an American racketeer, crime boss, businessman, and gambler who became a kingpin of the Jewish mob in New York City.
The Jewish mob, yo. Look at this guy. They're not beating the stereotypes. They are not. Yes. Mob ties. Jewish mob. Erika Kirk's family. All tied in together. It's part of her family. Factually. This guy, James Lee, is an excellent journalist. His channel is called 5149, and we're going to review his video today. I'm going to put the link in the description. This dude is knocking it out the ballpark. His channel is doing excellent, and I believe because his journalism is excellent.
We have 25 countries represented plus Puerto Rico, but I have the list here. Don't worry, guys. Egypt is not on the list. Don't worry about that.
Since Charlie's death, Erika Kirk, his widowed wife, has risen to become the CEO of Turning Point USA, which is one of the most powerful political groups in the United States. In our last video, we dug into her past, the modeling, the reality shows, the dating, despite claims to the contrary. Definitely go check that out if you haven't yet. But there's something we overlooked last time. The roommate who she mentioned.
What I'll say is, when I lived out here, I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was.
So who was this roommate? Well, turns out her roommate is not just some random person. It is actually a family member who is going to unlock for us an entire family tree that upends her well-curated image and potentially expose her connection to a complex network of financial fraud, casino gambling, and foreign influence, allegedly. And before we dive in, I just want to say,
allegedly,
that everything I'm about to tell you is verifiable. It's in the public domain. You could look it up for yourself. None of it is speculation.
This dude's on the facts, y'all. It's on the facts. Everybody has that criticism. Oh, Candace Owens and all y'all who are calling out Erika Kirk and TPUSA and all that. Y'all were just talking about your opinion and spreading gossip. This dude is going up with verifiable facts that you can actually look up in the public domain.
This is Erika Kirk, then Franzvi, with her roommate at the time, Nicole Rothstein.
Merry Thanksgiving to you. Merry Thanksgiving to you. Merry Thanksgiving to you.
Is that Wolverine, the actor who plays Wolverine? Where's he at?
Merry
No, no, I'm just joking, y'all, but he kind of looks like it a little bit.
Thanksgiving to you.
And Nicole Rothstein, as it turns out, is her cousin. How do we know that? Well, she responded to this clip featuring Erika Kirk talking about her Shabbat Shaloming.
Look at the little tissue. This is my microphone cover. I'm gonna be doing this the whole episode.
And she responded by saying, quote, as her cousin, who is fully Jewish, half of her family is Jewish. While
that is a very important fact that a lot of people don't already know. So let me zoom in on that because this is important stuff here. The juice boxes. So let's keep this in mind because, again, who is supporting TPUSA Jewish donors? Who is Charlie Kirk calling out and saying he's not for the pro-Israel cause anymore just before he got assassinated? Well, who was he married to that has very powerful ties that we're going to go into further in this video? As her cousin, who is fully Jewish, half of her family is Jewish, while she herself is a Christian. And we take that with a grain of salt. She has celebrated many Jewish holidays with our side of the family and highly respects the Jewish religion. Well, you can't respect that if you're a Christian because, again, Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by him. And so if you are a true Christian, you're not going to respect other religions. I don't. Why would you?
she herself is a Christian, she has celebrated many Jewish holidays with our side of the family and highly respects the Jewish religion. You can see the name and handle, Nicole Rothstein. Now, I'm glad I archived that because if you go and look for that Nicole Rothstein account right now, I'm pretty sure it's no longer there.
So they're likely hiding this information, y'all. Likely hiding it. Another red flag.
Now, Nicole Rothstein's father is a guy named Allan Rothstein, who you could see in this Instagram post is sitting next to her. And Erika Kirk writes, there's something powerful about God's strategic planning when it comes to the people he has surrounding you. How blessed I am to have individuals like Uncle Allan in my life that are filled with spirit. Now, this is where things start to get pretty interesting because the next logical question would be, who is this uncle of hers, Allan Rothstein? Well, I was able to find this SEC document that lists one Allan P. Rothstein, and I've confirmed that this is the same person. And here it describes him as a member of the board of directors of this company called Innumerable, which will come up later, so remember that name. He's also owned another company called Shazoom LLC, remember that as well, a business funding company. And from 2002 through 2007, Mr. Rothstein was the co-founder and chairman of a company called Nanodynamics Incorporated. Now, it sounds all pretty impressive, but as it turns out, with a little bit more digging, Mr. Allan Rothstein, Erika's uncle, may have been quite the sketchy guy. For Nanodynamics, it looks like he was sued in bankruptcy court. And from what I'm told, in bankruptcy terms, when a trustee sues a director or a founder like Allan Rothstein, it is believed typically that that person may have taken money out of the company improperly before it collapsed. And then remember the company Innumerable, which he served on the board of directors. That was apparently a penny stock that traded on the OTC markets before also going bankrupt. And then there's this company, Shazoom LLC, which if you remember is a business funding company. And based on my research, it seems like Shazoom LLC has almost zero footprint, no major client reviews, no press releases of funded deals, no industry presence. And for a quote unquote business funding company to have no track record of funding businesses suggests it might be just a shell company, a vehicle used to move money around rather than conducting actual commerce. So pretty interesting who Erika looks up to. And the Rothsteins, I'm just going to add, is a pretty famous crime family in American history.
If you look up the 1919 World Series, it says that the Cincinnati Red Stockings won the 1919 World Series. There's no asterisk, but then those numbers require you to tell a story about the Chicago White Sox, known to us forever as the Black Sox, who took money from Arnold Rothstein and other gamblers to throw the 1919 World Series.
Arnold Rothstein, nicknamed The Brain, was an American racketeer, crime boss, businessman, and gambler who became a kingpin of the Jewish mob in New York City. Rothstein.
The Jewish mob, y'all. Look at this guy. I mean, they're not beating the stereotypes. They are not. Yes, yes. Gotta get my shekels. Okay, I can't go too deep into that because we gotta stay within the YouTube guidelines. But you know what I mean. Gotta get my shekels.
Was widely reputed to have organized corruption in professional athletics, including conspiring to fix the 1919 World Series. He was also a mentor of future crime bosses Lucky Luciano, Mayor Lansky, Frank Costello, Bugsby Siegel, and numerous others.
Bugsby. That name sounds familiar. Bugsby Siegel.
Interesting family history, I would say, for the all-American girl next door. Oh, but
I'm telling y'all, Erika Kirk is fascinating. Just so much. The rabbit hole goes so deep with her. So deep. Bugsby Siegel.
But the rabbit hole gets even darker when we look at another family connection. This is Erika's aunt, Carla Solomon, née Franz V. This family connection is even more wild, so buckle up here. This is the obituary for Carl Kenneth Franz V, who is Erika's grandfather. I just want to make sure that these connections are established using credible sources. Here you can see Erika listed as one of his grandchildren, and you can see here under children, there's Kent, who is Erika's father, and Carla, who is Erika's aunt, which we'll get into right now. According to Clark County records, Erika's aunt, Carla, married a man named Jack D. Solomon. And as it turns out, Erika's uncle, we'll call him Uncle Jack, was the target of a federal investigation on casino-related stock fraud. This is a document I found from the SEC dated August 2nd, 1983, and it says that, quote, the San Francisco branch office announced that on July 20th, a complaint was filed in the federal district court in Las Vegas, Nevada, seeking permanent injunctions against Jack D. Solomon and Norman L. Vance, both of Las Vegas. The complaint charges Solomon and Vance with violations of the registration and anti-fraud provisions of the Securities Act of 1933 and the anti-fraud provisions of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934 in connection with selling and otherwise distributing approximately 8.7 million shares of unregistered stock of Gaming and Technology, Inc., formerly known as Advanced Patent Technology, Inc., a publicly held Nevada corporation. Essentially, the scheme was that
So this man's going deep. Look, he's going deeper than I could ever go based on the limited amount of time that I have. I think he just does one video a week, so it kind of makes sense how he can go so deep. And he actually has a team of journalists that I believe helps him get this different information. And so, yeah, you need a team, especially if you're busy yourself like I am. I would need a specific team of journalists if I was going to do this in-depth of a research on a specific person. But this guy, I mean, he's good at what he does. Really, really is. Being a journalist specifically really isn't my lane. Just, I don't know. It just doesn't fit me so much, I guess. I'm more of like just a commentator, more entertainer. Like I kind of just give a vibe on my videos and commentate and just share my opinion and maybe get some entertainment here and there. But this guy just straight, information, fact bombs, going deep, deep, deep down the rabbit hole and just finding out all this different information. This is what he does.
that he was selling unregistered stock to fund his gambling empire, and this investigation is what ultimately forced him out of the casino industry. But 15 years later, Jack found himself back in court on another fraud charge, this time related to a company called Biomune Systems. Quote, plaintiff asserts this action arises from a fraud of massive proportions, generally consisting of a scheme to obtain Biomune's listing on NASDAQ, manipulate Biomune's finances, and inflate the price of Biomune stock in order to dump thousands of Biomune shares on the market and earn millions of dollars in profits. So this sounds sort of like a classic pump and dump scheme here. So overall, what these documents prove is a 20-year pattern. You see, back in the 80s, it was casinos. And then here in the 90s, it was biotech. But in every decade, the tactic is the same, which is to use family and connections to manipulate markets. And now, Jack D. Solomon's niece-in-law, Erika Kirk, just so happens to be running one of the largest political, or maybe the largest political youth organizations in the United States, with hundreds of millions of dollars flowing through the organization.
This is how the web all ties in together here. It goes from casinos, gambling, to biotech, to now political organization. So it seems like she's been webbed into a family of grifters. Bugsby. Bugsby. I forgot the last name. I love that name, by the way. What's up, Bugsby?
I just want to remind people that about a week before he died, Charlie Kirk sent out this internal memo calling for a quote-unquote Doge-style investigation or audit into the finances of Turning Point USA. So
he was wondering what's going on with his money. What is happening? He was asking questions with the wife who has a family that's been in the biggest bloodline of grifters maybe in this last 100 years. She might take the cake with that. The whole bloodline, whole family is in the grifter squad. I mean, and what do you expect? What do you expect with family ties such as that in the Jewish mob? The thing is, what you're born into, you can always change. You're not limited to your bloodline. You could change from your father, your mother, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. You could change the whole narrative. But the thing is, that's the exception to the rule. Most people don't change their family history. They stay in the same pattern because it's taught down and kind of reinforced and basically programmed into each generation. And this is kind of how it goes. And so somebody's family bloodline has been poor for their whole bloodline, then it's more of a chance that the next generation will remain in poverty because it's passed down the habits, the mindset, the mentality, all that type of stuff. And so if you're the first in your bloodline to change the trajectory It's a huge accomplishment, very huge. You could be the first doctor in your family, the first lawyer in your family. You could be the first person in your family not to be in debt within the last 200 years. Basically, what I'm trying to explain is the exceptions to the rule to be different than your previous generations. And so if your family bloodline has built a reputation and a legacy of giant amounts of grifting, you're likely going to fall into that, especially when your family has largely benefited from this and you grow up with wealth with a silver spoon. Kind of put yourself in that situation. You likely won't want to be the first person in your family to avoid the grift. Everybody before you've been grifting, and if you avoid it, you're going to have to do things the hard way now. You're going to have it much harder than your previous family members who had life on easy mode. And it's actually going to be challenging for you to not grift. Well, most people are going to take the easy way out and do what their family before them has done.
Perhaps Charlie suspected that something nefarious, something shady might have been going on within the company's finances, and he wanted to find out what it was. We don't know that for sure, but it certainly seems very plausible. And the other question we should ask is, if money is indeed flowing out of the organization in some kind of secret manner, where could that money be going? Well, I found out that Jack Solomon is a major donor to international Zionist causes like the Jerusalem Foundation, and he also serves as
the giant web of juice box stuff. This is where it always leads to, guys. Why? Why? Because this is what they do. They're all about the shekels. They're all about the shekels. They're the bankers, the international bankers, the world bankers. They are the ones
for Hebrew University, which just so happens to be Israel's leading public research university, founded in 1918 and opened in 1925. I mean, don't you guys find it kind of interesting that TPUSA is aggressively, almost militantly pro-Israel, more so than it is sometimes pro-America?
We've been to Israel twice together. And to be able to walk in the place where our Lord walked and see the Bible come to life in Technicolor, how could you hate that place?
So just summing everything up, trace back through her family tree. On one side, you have
this man. Did he make this family tree? Like, I'm telling you, this guy, he's just going to go in depth. Look at this. They went over Erika Kirk's whole family tree. The money side, the power side, casinos and influence, speculation and tech. I mean, look at this. The money side, the power side. Jack D. Solomon, casino boss. SEC fraud charges. 1983 fraud network lawsuit. Hebrew U trustees donor. Husband of Carla Francie, Solomon the aunt. Erica's paternal aunt. The bridge to Francie family. Yeah, the money side. Allan Rothstein, the penny stock king. NASDAQ market maker, bankrupted nanodynamics, crypto venture capitalist. Father of Nicole Ronstein, the roommate. Erica's first cousin, Erica's best friend, lived together in luxury. Remember what I just said about it will be hard to be the first person in your family not to be engaging in the grifting when essentially most of your family, a lot of your family has been doing that. So you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. It's going to be really hard for you to reject that and to actually do things the right way.
The Rothsteins, and the other, you have the Solomons, both each with a long and storied history connected through her roommate and cousin, Nicole Rothstein, and her aunt, Carla Francie, later on Carla Solomon. And sitting right in the middle of everything is Erika Kirk, the new CEO of Turning Point USA. So I'll ask again, who is Erika Kirk? Is she just an innocent widow who has now been thrust into the limelight because of the tragic death of her husband? Or is there maybe something more going on here? Final thing, fun little breadcrumb for everybody here. How many stars are on this American flag for this America Fest 2025 logo?
This guy's being very careful. Because, yeah, I mean, it's 33 stars, it says right here. And some of us knows what that number means pertaining to certain societies who are a bit secretive.
That is it for me this week. I just want to say this was a huge group effort among a number of different decentralized journalists to put this work together, Can't do it without them.
So yeah, guys, that's James Lee with 5149. Seems like he has a team of journalists, and you can support him by checking out his channel, subscribing, and all that. So I'm just really glad to see that people on YouTube actually care about the truth. Some people on YouTube actually care about the truth, because there's a growing distrust, I think, among viewers with YouTubers. Like, oh, because they see all the big YouTubers who are selling out. They're selling out to Israel. They're selling out for the check. They're selling out for the $7,000. Or they're selling out for whatever it is. It could not be Israel. It could be whatever else it is, you know. Gambling, promotions. There's just so many YouTubers, but it's mainly the big ones, yo. Mainly the big ones who are selling out. And so a lot of viewers, they lump every YouTuber in. We all get a bad rap. But there's always a remnant. And there's always going to be some of us who actually care about the truth legitimately, and we're not going to compromise to speak the truth. So shout out to James Lee and to every YouTuber who actually cares about the truth and is going to speak it regardless of whatever. They just feel led to do that, and they want to do that because they care about the truth. I just saw some interesting comments on this video, so we're going to review that. I love this right here. Erika sold Charlie for 30 pieces of silver. Gotta get the shekels, y'all. Yes, the shekels. She was his Judas. I don't doubt that. She is so fake, shady, and sinister. Erika Kirk is a Mossad asset. This channel's underrated. Well, it's doing good. I think it's getting the recognition it deserves at this point. He's doing very well. So I think it's rated how he's doing. Somebody said, I would not be surprised if Charlie had started to suspect Erika too. And what if he did? What would that mean? How would that tie into everything that's been going on in the assassination? That could give motive. Well, I'll just say that could give motive. The fact that she calls her my roommate instead of her cousin says everything you need to know. Exactly. She's amazingly cringe, like a cheap TV evangelist. Indeed. Yeah. The rabbit hole just gets deeper and deeper. Indeed. Isn't it interesting that you never had one movie based on the Jewish mafia, but so many on Italian and black mafias and crime gangs? But the thing is, I thought I heard the name Bugsby before. Like it was like a famous mafia in like a movie or a TV show. Maybe, I don't know where I heard that name before, but I've heard of Bugsby before. But yeah, most media and like movies and stuff about the mafia has to do with the Italian mafia, not the Jewish one. 33 stars, you know it's this. Yep, when you see that number, this was planned from the beginning. That checks with why Ben Shapiro didn't like Charlie, but now he is all about supporting Erika and TPUSA. Exactly. Erika was certainly planned to be his wife. She's certainly an agent. TPUSA/Charlie is or was the asset. 33 stars in the flag. She got caught, so now she's bringing it up all the time to make people think it's a joke. So, and we'll end it with this one, very powerful. This is the most powerful political organization in the U.S., and it's Zionist. Shocker. This is what we're learning from all this information being released, all these fact bombs being released, all these videos. It's all tying into Zionism. It's all tying into Israel first. It's all tying into the money going to Israel or Israel-related things, people, funds, organizations, support, AIPAC, different things such as this. It's all tying into that shady web of, yes, give me my shekels. Give me my rings. That's the sonic ringtone. That's the sonic sound for the rings on the video game. You know, if you see my background, I love Sonic, by the way. That's why I have Sonic themed stuff. The ring right here and the Sonic spinning in the background, then another Sonic and another ring. And then somebody asked what that statue is right there. They thought it's a gargoyle. But no, it's a lion. It's kind of hard to make out. That's a lion. Can you see it? Yeah, I like lions a lot. My favorite animal. So that, my friends, is a lion. And it ties in with Christianity. Jesus Christ is the conquering lion of Judah. So we'll end it there. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Give this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. May the Lord keep you. May he bless you. May he shine his face upon you always and give you peace. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, amen. men. Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and thou shalt be saved. Oh, and I just saw David, the movie David in theaters with my fam just today. And I'm not sponsored, but it's just a good movie to take to see with your family. I believe it's a good, it shines a good light on Christianity because it shows the story of Christianity and it's positive, and even people who are not yet saved will enjoy that movie. And yeah, it's a true story. So it's a blessed message. And they've done really well. The animation, just beautiful. It looks so good. And they did really well at that movie. Anyways, take care and God bless. And I appreciate y'all for trying to make me feel better about my patchy beard. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not really worried about it. It's just an OCD thing. It's frustrating, but it could be worse. I could literally have no facial hair. It could always be worse. I'm dragging out the end of this video. I usually never do this, but I'm dragging it out. Okay, I'm done. See you guys. See you guys. Still dragging it out. All right. Take care.